All right. His amps are easy, active dominant, polydominant, and the BDSM lifestyle, as well as, affiliated with quite a few different advanced lifestyles since at least, 1978. Not like any of that matters, but this is my vlog or my message, or just getting some things off the top of my head as such. So this is not a debate for all of you who may be wondering. But here's the thing. We got this, there's been this ongoing kind of drama that seems to be happening quite often lately online and in our little separate communities, especially for people of color, as to what are the definitions, as to what it is that they claim that they trying to do, or their way of doing it. And and it even gets as deep as old heads versus new heads type thing, as if they're finding these lifestyles seems to be by immaculate conception, like, oh yeah, I've been doing this for this, that, the other, so on and so on. I'm like, look, man, first and foremost, what attracted me to the whole poly dynamic in itself was having seen several different types of this dynamic successfully achieved as a child in my own communities and whatnot, in my own home and family to some degree. And I've seen and understood enough positive aspects of it to respect it all my life, or at least most of my adult life, which actually started a lot bit earlier than even my age, and that's why I say respectively since at least 78. But here's the issue. My issue is the mere fact that, first and foremost, up until hell about 10-15 years ago, respectfully, I didn't even know that there was this many black or people of color who were actually that bold enough to attempt to try to get into some of these advanced lifestyles and dynamics and structures. Respectfully, I mean, it seemed to always have been kind of a convenience for people who had their shit better together. And so the first issue that I have is that, by the United States Census, black people or people of color are the most unpartnered, most unstable, or most unlikely to be partnered in any form of stable partnership, be it monogamously marriage or poly tribe or anything else of that nature. It's just a problem that we've had since 60s and 70s maybe. And here we got people who are 60s and 70s babies who are trying to tell folks that even lived around that era, oh man, y'all don't know what's up, man. Y'all ain't, shit, you ain't about this life, this, that, and the other. And the first thing that really, causes me to question is, well, the biggest popularity of it all as of late has been this solo polyish kind of mentality. Hell, I found myself even kind of claiming that dynamic or that kind of position solely on the mere fact that, well, I've never been married to date, but I've had quite a few very long personalized relationships that have, could be even defined from a poly perspective, because, well, most of my exes are still my friends. And, we've overlapped in our associations more than, most people would probably believe. But, what I see more than anything else is a lot of people who are trying to indulge and dibble and dab in all of these advanced lifestyles, and they all are ill-equipped to actually handle any interpersonal relationships of any kind of stability enough to claim that whatever they were doing before they decided to start doing this, is what provides them with the knowledge and the proof for them to be able to pull off something even more deeper and more involved. Poly means many, many loves, many people, many friends, many things, and one of the things that most of today's single people have, in common is the inability to actually, be friends with people that they may have had some interpersonal relationship was otherwise. Once the fucking stops, they stop being friends. They just can't stand it. They gotta burn a bridge to start a new bridge. And those things aren't things that you do, especially when you try to think about building something and or surviving or identifying or including yourself into what some would call a community of sorts. So where's the problem in all this? The problem is just the mere fact that first and foremost, we as people of color have this really bad habit of trying to act like we can just totally reinvent something without even admitting that the first thing that most of you need is therapy. You really honestly need to come to Jesus with the mere fact that, you can't just all of a sudden decide to start getting little bits and pieces of bunches of other people in your life just because you sucked for so many years at being capable of actually being able to keep the ones that you had priorly, there too. Now, the other thing is being open and honest. We come from a cultural tradition of don't ask, don't tell. Don't do what I do, do as I say. All these other things, we got people to sit back around here and try to act like they can handle all of the truth and this, that, and the other about things, but they can't be honest about the mere fact that the hardest problem that everybody has in these interpersonal kind of dynamics is being open and honest. Not afterwards, but before even. And therefore, we can't handle that. The other thing that we have to also deal with is, as people of color, we really have a real bad problem and stigma with being able to redefine or to at least respect sexuality as a whole. And I mean every different kind of polarity that you could possibly muster, including, its sexual polarities, into which, also comes with, black folks love them some bi women, but they can't stand no doggone bi men, because most bi men can't stand the mere fact that they lose a bit of their manhood just being able to try to act like they can openly, profess their bi-ness without it having to be, nigga, you gay kind of thing too. Even bi women have a problem with that. I like, to play with bi men, but, I would hate, if my man was. And I'm like, well, but there goes that other issue with all of this, including this poly thing that everybody else wants to kind of talk about for people of color, because why in the hell is it so damn difficult for so many of us to try to understand that, your kink ain't my kink, but, without any structure, what's going to change? What's going to make whatever you think that you were trying to do before you decided to be poly, now that you want to be, any better for not just you, but for anyone and everyone else? I mean, I'm not just talking about just, I finally got myself a nice little tribe and I'm comfy. I can get what I want when I want it and this, that, and the other. But I'm seriously talking about the bottom line tactics of this thing. How you going to raise your kids around this thing? How you going to live the rest of your life? How you going to grow old? How you going to make money? How you going to doggone be able to actually be so doggone happy and content with the resources, not just the availabilities, but the resources that your tribe or whatnot, also provides enough for it to allow you and them to also grow and flourish as well. These are things that I just wanted to put out there because I'm really having a real big difficulty with watching so many perfectly good people of color, especially the young ones, really fuck up what once again is more than just a lifestyle. It's an actual style of life. But if you ain't got your own shit right enough to be right about handling it, how the hell you gonna do that with anything more than what yourself? Yeah, you want what you want, but at what price are you willing to pay for it? I'm Alpha Master Pimp, sir, active dominant and poly master, and not just the BDSM lifestyle, but in most of all of the adult and advanced lifestyles that's existed. And I'm wishing you good luck trying to pull off whatever you're trying to do just for you.